Hey guys. Okay, so I figured out one of the reasons why people are struggling when it comes to trying to figure out how to become successful. Um, One of the biggest issues that I know for certain is brainwashing, being immune to doing the same thing over and over again. And if you're looking to be successful, then I'm pretty sure you've gotten tired of just thinking that you were doing things over and over, or you were being brainwashed, or um I would consider myself in a panic state of mind, um because I would be sick and tired of wishing of being successful. But I think that people's biggest issue about becoming successful or reaching their fullest potential is the areas around them. Okay, and I've done this video before, or I've talked about a topic similar to this, but a lot of people have been around certain individuals, or maybe perhaps certain things that is attracting their attention more often than it should be, because your attention should be attracted, or should be really, excuse me, your attention should be more focused on things that you desire, that will be your dream. A lot of times people focus on little things such as probably video games. That's not their dream. Their dream could be a musician, or dream could be the owner of a business, but these are the little things that can get people to focus on for long periods of time, and it can definitely turn into a long time, oh excuse me, a long term thing. And I, like, for myself, I would give you the advice of just realizing that the people around you, if you are in an environment where people are doing normal everyday things and they have not fulfilled their dream, or maybe they say that they have fulfilled their dream but they're still struggling with paying rent, or they're still not, they don't have the nicest clothes on, and little things you can tell about people whenever they are taking care of their hygiene, or taking care of their appearances, or whatever the case may be. People are observed every single day, and depending on where you are or who you're around, what you're going through, it can determine whether or not if you are successful because of the things that you have. um, a lot of people who have already um, reach their goals in life, their major goals in life, and people are still reaching them. But some of the people who have reached their goals in life have less wants, because they have everything that they need and want. And if they ever needed something else or wanted something else, it wouldn't be anything um, like continuing to happen over and over. It would be like once in a blue moon, because everything that they have and everything that they need is right with them. Now, you may not have reached your goal, and you may not be considering yourself as successful as you want, but you do still have everything you want and everything you have. And a lot of people, they have the desire to do things, but they haven't really gone out to really fully get themselves out there. And I believe, and I know for certain, that social media and YouTube, anything online, is a great way to get yourself noticed. And that's how I was able to become discovered. And I knew that it was going to take me to use online services in order for me to become discovered, because I lived in a bubble, and the environment that I lived in had way more enclosed personalities than I did. And even though the environment around me, the people that were around me, they had displayed, you know, a lifestyle to where it wasn't so enclosed. It was an it was a very big exposure of a lifestyle that you think that they would act on the outside, in which they did, but more of their lifestyle was hidden because they did not embrace the true them when they went out, for which they deserve to have back to them. So if I'm making that sound any where it makes sense, let's just say people consider your good personality inside of the house should be the same as the outside. When you're talking to people and communicating with them on the outside, and not, saying that you dislike someone and then you go out in public and, you know you're the total opposite. But sometimes you have to know, like, even if you don't like someone, or you don't like the way someone is doing something, you still should have the respect to, respect them in public. And, you can say or feel the way that you want inside of your head about that person, or about what they are doing, or about a situation. But it's more important that you have the right type of spirit within you, so that you're able to share that and people would see that. But good attracts good and bad attracts bad. And if you are a good person, you will have always the mentality to attract good. And your environment may be out of place, but you are not. So now, certain people's habits can um, feed off of other people, and they can absorb, or should I say they can pick up habits that they don't feel like they should really be picking up, or maybe people do feel like they should be picking it up because it's a way of protecting them. But I would consider myself being a target if I know that I'm a good person and I have a good personality and I respect people and I love myself and I want to take care of myself, and I'm around someone who does not do that. They don't take care of themselves. They seem as if they don't take care of themselves. The way that they speak is not respectful or anything like that. That is something that I will consider myself wanting to be not around, because it is almost similar to like a bad target. Like, you make yourself a target whenever you are around someone that is engaging with different type of lifestyles that you would not consider yourself wanting to be engaging with. And if I'm not mistaken, I have definitely been in certain environments and it was just not my environment. So I had to definitely leave and find another way to find comfort within my own self. And, well, I've always found comfort within my own self. It's just that, the environment probably was not as comfortable as I predicted it to be, or as I wanted it to be, or needed, But I definitely would consider yourself to leave a situation that does not serve you. And if you know how to speak to people, have a great communication with them, if you know how to take care of yourself and dress yourself the way that you know you should be dressed in order to look presentable, if you know how to eat healthier foods and you won't be so distracted about picking up the wrong type of foods, or maybe picking up the wrong type of habits, that is the biggest deal that you should be consisting on fixing, because it can rub off on you and make and break you. Or if you know that you are a person that is always trying to um, figure out a better way of providing help for yourself for the better and prosper, then you won't have a problem, because you know how to learn and separate yourself from things like that. Now, another big issue that I really want to cover is that when people have children, they are basically in prison, because their parents could be living a horrible lifestyle, and now the child doesn't even know where to go or feel safe to just step out of their parents' home because of the amount of fear that they have of never ever being able to leave home. So this is why it's very important that I make this video to reach someone, because nowadays people are feeling brave enough to leave home and going whatever they please, because people are getting more braver, and the chastising, like such as whooping your child, threatening them to, if you leave, you're going to get, I'm going, when I find you, I'm going to, that was the old parenting abuse that used to go on. I'm not sure if it's still happening, but if it is, you have me to listen to. Okay, you have the right person to listen to. Now everyone is starting to wake up. Now, if you want to leave you're an abusive home with an abusive parent or whoever, now you are able to leave and find resources to keep you surviving, like going to a shelter or going to a friend's house who really, protects you and loves you and wants you to do good things. People who aren't, going to harm you or want to see you fall down, anything like that. But now there are so many different facilities and shelters and organizations that will allow people to seek help and get the help that they need if they don't have support at home, or if they're runaways or anything like that. You are going to be helped. And now, because it's a pandemic and people are starting to stay to themselves, it may be difficult for you to go to a friend's house. It may not, but there's always resources from organizations and facilities that will open their doors up to you, and you will be able to use their resources in order to better yourself. Um, because people's biggest concern about being successful is being themselves, and people feel as if they have to be like this person or like that person, but the only thing that you're being like is that person's good characteristics. You can keep your own, but your own good characteristics is the same as someone else's good characteristics. And I wanted you to know that. Um, so yeah, do know that, and I want you to practice realizing that it's more to life than just experiencing what you're experiencing. You want to experience more things, and I would consider that to be. Let me fix this camera. Wait a minute. Okay. I would consider like being myself. I would consider me staying humble, me staying content, not going, too overboard to make yourself look, you know, out of tone. Because I have, like, for instance, I have done some things like on some of my YouTube videos, but I took them down. I've done some things, someone probably saved it somewhere or whatnot, but I'll probably see them later. Who knows? It might not. Someone might save me and be like, hey, you can't put that video up there. Take it down. But anyways, but it was kind of funny, but it wasn't a little bit. But see, that's my point that I'm trying to make. Um, one of people's biggest problems about being successful is them feeling as if they would be accepted by being who they are. And yes, you will be accepted by being who you are. That is what makes you unique. That is what makes people want to tune into you, want to watch you, want to relate to you, want to support you, because you give them a different characteristics from someone else. And we all have different characteristics, but some people feel as if there's a similarity because people want to, copy someone else's lifestyle, and then they forget about their own. So let the beauty in you stand out by being who you are, and you can grow within the characteristics from other people, because you're learning and you're adding and building your own self so that you can sell yourself later. And by selling yourself will be someone who sees potential in you and sees a lot of good things that they are able to work with you in order for you to have stability within your finances, and just a better lifestyle, because people work with people who observe certain things about you, and it will enable you to have a greater life. Because if you think about it, the way that you want to live is going to require having money. It's going to require having a place to live. It's going to require having food to eat. These things are going to help build you. So be yourself and focus on achieving what you really desire, because that is manifestation. And you want to focus on the things that you really desire, because that is going to help you in the long run, and not be off task and off focus about the things that really may not matter to you. And I really appreciate people who spend more time thinking about what they want to be and what they want to do, because that is also manifestation, and that's going to enhance the process even more. So that is one of the things that I know for sure, or I believe I just mentioned a couple of things. Another thing is, I would have to say, the desire to put aside something. You know, some people, like I said before, if you play a video game all day and you don't know why your dreams aren't manifesting, that is the reason why. Unless it is a video game that you want to major in, in video gaming, then okay, you're manifesting. But why? Because you're processing your mind with repeating something that is relatable to your desires over and over and over. Okay, that is the main thing. And one of the things that people, struggle with by fulfilling their success is whatever their dreams or goals are, they don't repeat it over and over. They repeat it, but they don't repeat it as often as they should. It's almost like a person who's working at Burger King, but they want to become a singer, and they sing whenever they can, but it's not more than them working at Burger King. And this is why I say, your manifestation is going to become way quicker. And some people, they get really lucky and blessed, and miracles happen because they don't get to sing as much because they're at work or doing something else totally different, and they don't get to manifest that much time. Let me make sure this camera is straight. Okay, they don't get to manifest that much time, and a miracle has happened because they did manifest something, whether it was online, or maybe someone heard someone sing, or someone told someone that this person is a singer, and I feel like they should be signed to a contract somewhere. But a friend of mine had told me that this person was a good singer. Some people get lucky like that. But nowadays, it's like the faster you put yourself out there, which is using social media, YouTube, and whatever it is, maybe go to a um, um, a bar or a karaoke night and put yourself out there, and let that person know that you do have a skill and a talent by demonstrating that in person. And then your manifestation will happen so much quicker, like a whole lot quicker. And then you'll be able to see miracles and blessings start to come, because God has given you that desire already. You really didn't need to broadcast it. You just needed to, or should I say, you really didn't need to broadcast it as many times as you did, but it lets a person know that this is something that you only want to do. And by you repeating it over and over, you have manifested your dreams stronger. And I want people to know that, and you should know that whatever you want to do, you have to leave certain things aside so that you're able to manifest it stronger. Because there was no way that I could, I'm not going to say there's no way that I could have became, in broadcasting and news media by just doing what I wanted to do, like practicing my desired field by doing it every once every blue moon to every 2 times a week, or maybe once or twice a month, because I'm really focusing on other things like trying to go to work and hanging with friends. I don't do that anymore. I don't think any of us does because of the pandemic. But if you do, limit that and spend more time with yourself, because you're going to thank yourself because you have put more time into what you desire. So by putting more time into what you desire, it's going to help you manifest whatever it is that you want. And once you've understood that, you'll be able to know that, wow, I've manifested everything that I wanted. And it was all because I repeated the process of the thought, or spoke about the process of gaining what I desired. And it all happened, and I actually worked. So you will be able to manifest your dreams if you step away from the things that are not going to be there and focus on repeating that process rather than something that is not going to be a part of your dream. Now, let me fix this camera again. Now, I'm not saying that when you get to your dream, whatever you're doing now, you won't be utilizing. I'm not going to say that. It's many people who, for instance, I don't play video games, but there's nothing wrong with video games, because if I was playing with somebody else and they were into a video game and they told me to play with them, and I know I didn't know how to play the video game and I was going to embarrass myself, I would play it just for fun, but because it'd be kind of cool, to play a video game. And I never really, was into playing a video game unless someone makes it fun, and then I probably consider myself playing it with them, But they would probably beat me in all video games, just letting you know, because I'm not a video game player. Unless it's the Nintendo 64. Now, I'm going to get you a Nintendo 64. I will. And probably Pac-Man, if on another game. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. But what's really funny is that if you set aside something that is not going to be there in your main desire, like if you want to be a singer, your main desire is not going to be your main thing that you're supposed to be doing. It's not going to be a video game. It's going to be singing. If you want to be a singer, you're not going to be on stage playing a video game. You're going to be on stage singing. So and a lot of people, like, say for instance, rappers, or um um for instance, for rappers, I see them playing video games. They post it on social media, but that's during their spare time. Their real time for manifestation to get where they want it was practicing performing whatever lyrics they wrote down, or something that someone else had wrote down, but they had practiced it, and people became better at that. So I want you all to know that that is going to be one of the biggest things you're going to have to do. And people can change their life whenever they leave certain things aside and start focusing more on building within the things that they want to see happen in their life. But it has to be on that same subject. It has to be within that same um, characteristic, that same environment. It has to be that. So if that's not your environment, stay to yourself. If you're in that environment and you don't know how to just step out, get your mind together in your environment now, and focus more on you know everything you know how to do that's very well, and focus on remembering and thinking about ways of how it would be if you were to leave a situation, leave your environment if it's not a good environment, and take your mind with you with the ideas that you have in order to grow, so that whenever you do step out there in the real world, you do know that you have everything that you need within your mind, and you know the tools that you need to take with you, such as social media or YouTube. You take that ideas with you and you grow from there. If you want to be a singer, keep on sharing posts about singers, or sharing ideas about your music, and make sure that you follow or support or engage in conversations that relate to music. Or if you want to be a an actor, you make sure you follow, or you support or add or comment on things that relates to acting, and make sure you build your entire um, platform on your social media account around that, so that you're able to attract that only. And a lot of people, they can get, sidetracked it, and it can be difficult, because when you go on YouTube, or when you go on certain social media things, you see certain things that, where have you to stop and look at that more often than what you're truly desiring. And so, if you want to be able to manifest your dreams, if it's being rich, if it's being wealthy, if it's driving the nicest cars, if it's driving, or if it's wearing the nicest clothing, or if it's living in a house that costs more than you can afford now, then that means that you have to step away, unless you're going to play the lottery, but then you have to play the lottery more often, you see? And if you play the lottery more often, then you end up winning more. But not many people play the lottery, because they want their money to be, you know secured at all times, because they're so busy focusing on saving, and not taking a chance and the risk of spending their money on something that they don't want to risk. And that is important, and that makes sense. But do know that in order for you to have more, and to manifest what you have, is by putting more time into, whatever it is to fulfill your dream. And it may not be a lot of time. You may have so much skills within you that you only had to do a little bit of work, and people's got the rest for you. Someone else has got the rest of it for you. That's why I say, if you really, truly, truly, truly want to be in the dreams that you desire, make a video about yourself. Get on YouTube, make a YouTube account, create one, and let others know how you feel. Show other people your skills. Don't be afraid to do that, because that's going to help you um, become discovered, because then they're not looking at just a photo, and they're not looking at words, but they're also looking at a video, and they can have more of a visionary mindset about their influences that will be provided through your actions, and it's going to help you. So I would definitely consider doing that, and I want you all to know that you will be supported in the long run. I didn't think that I was going to be supported. I knew I was going to be supported. Okay. um I just didn't know how many videos I would have to put on YouTube in order for me to be discovered for the right people. From the right people, so that I can not live in this regular lifestyle anymore, because I didn't have this at home. I was told to go to work and find a regular job, and it's almost like my family had no idea who I was. It's like, do you not see my characteristics? Do you not see my personality? Do you not see why I sh- I shouldn't be on? I mean, do you see why I shouldn't? You know, do you see why I shouldn't be where I desire, based on what I'm able to give out? You know, a lot of people like to say, "Well, my energy is something that's all that they need. My energy is enough for someone to want to help me. My energy is enough that what pleases someone else. And I'm like, okay, well, I would love for my family to feel that way. And if they do, then I want them to stop being so hard on me, because the way that they're speaking, and the way that they're delivering, the way that they feel to me, it's almost like I'm a bad person, and I talk to them in any type of way, and noticing, and everyone else notices that I don't. So it's almost like, okay, some people cannot see the real you. Some people cannot see the godlike divine spirit within you, because they are not that themselves. And if they were, it would be easy for them to witness that in another person. And that's not just like a family thing. It's some other times it's people on the outside of your family, because this is a really big world, and people may not consider that an issue, but it's a big issue if you're a good listener, and you're influenced by people and you're very supportive, and you're not there to harm anyone else, and you need that type of support back in order for you to get the desires that you really want, because good attracts good. Now, if you're in an environment of bad, then it's not going to work out. You're going to have to separate yourself within your mind, which is already separated, but never continue to focus on gaining a negative perspective insight within your life. It is your time to leave. Even if it's a job, it's also time for you to leave. And that is what I wanted to say. So, in order for you to become successful, you have to stand aside the things that's not going to be relatable, and I want you to focus on repeating the things that are relatable to your desires over and over and over. And it may not be a long time, you know, um, because you may have so much good actions within you on the outside of you, your physical acts, everything about you may be already great enough for you not to work so hard doing whatever it is that you desire to be known for doing, because it's already there in you. So a person that has to practice more may not be practicing because they need to. They may be just practicing because they want to, enhance what they have. And either way, no matter how much you're practicing, you're still enhancing yourself. So if this includes getting another job, or leaving your job and focusing on repeating the things that your desires will turn out to be a major thing that's going to be a part of your dream, your main dream. Repeat that over and over, and then you will soon see that you are already there. Someone will go, or actually someone is going to help you. I had no idea that someone, well, I always knew that someone would come and help me on from posting my videos and on Facebook. I always imagined someone just walking towards me and finding me and discovering me. I always have, because I said this is going to take for someone to just approach me, because and it worked. Someone just approached me, but I had to put myself out there on social media and YouTube so that people can know where to find me if they were watching my videos. Um, and I also put, the city and state that I lived and things like that, and people were able to determine, where I was, and so they were able to, observe me in person. And someone approached me, and they gave me the same type of love and good characteristics that I presented myself to be online. So people are watching you, and I didn't think that, they were going to surprise me like they did, but the people in this world really, really surprised me. Thank you, God. Like, they surprised me. But I asked for help online, on social media. I spoke to the universe just by putting it out there. And certain people um, who have already met the goals to where I desire to be, I wrote them a message. And so they are able to read it. They may not reply back to you, but they will they will respond back to other people. And then sooner or later, you will attract what you really want. So that is something that I want you guys to focus on mainly. Repeating whatever it is that you want over and over until you get it. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe I had to repeat it more than, well, I know for certain that I had to repeat everything more than once. Um, but this is going to require you to leave a work, like a job, like a workplace, that is a 9 to 5. Now, if you want to just continue to work until you save your last little bit of money, your last check or whatever, that's fine. But just start something even while you are working. Like, create yourself a social media, or take down your social media account and recreate a new one, and this time rebuild yourself and have everything desirable that is going to be relatable to whatever type of dream that you're manifesting. And another thing is having the stability to repeat it. A lot of people are at work or doing something else totally different and it's not repeating. Now, it doesn't mean that you're not going to repeat your desires while you're doing something else, like talking to someone else or having a friend or going shopping and things like that. But do know that you need a backup, and your backup is going to be online. So if you are out there, you know, at a friend's house, or you are at this party, or if you are doing something totally different, your backup is going to be online because you have presented yourself for the world to see. So whenever they find you, you may not look as if you know what this is on social media, but they would know how much they need to fix for you in order for you to get back and present yourself that is going to be relatable to the content that you put out there online. See you guys. Take care.